Now this is where this graphic at the top is wrong. So this guy's actually mana, and this guy is Moon. So we literally casted this whole game under the impression that Moon was dominating. And then at the very end, I mean, we'll see it as we get there, but at the very end, we just see Moon type GG as it looks like Moon's basically wiped mana out, and then a camera shot cuts to mana. He's like fist pumping like this, and we're Dan and we are looking at each other like, what is going on? By the way, cool SimCity here from Mana. He's basically making this large ramp entrance a little bit smaller.
Already we see maybe a little bit of a difference between the two players. 2 Iron Vaults going down there for Moon. You know, right now, as far as Infernal versus Infernal, Fiends are very, very strong. And Gaunts with that Infest ability.
Iron Vault, that's what this is called. Okay. Yeah, he always goes Iron Vault. 3 Iron Vaults right away. So purple is mana and teal is Moon. Yes. But we obviously casted it incorrectly the whole time because we didn't know.
But there is animus that is collected over time and units are killed. And that is only for Infernals. But in an Infernal versus Infernal match, you're both going to be getting animus. I would seem like whoever can pick up the most more quickly is going to have a lot of...
Yeah, this thing I was talking about here, I was a little uncertain about what role it would play in a mirror matchup. So basically, the Infernals collect something called animus based off, I think, what they kill and what's been killed. And that's like a kind of a resource of its own that allows you to you can make this dragon unit, you can cast Infest like we already saw.
We'll see if that comes into play here, but just keep that in the back of your minds. If this game does drag out, I would imagine that is going to be an inevitability.
If it drags out, it will drag on.
We've got the first resource camp going down over here. Mana clearing.
And I guess you would also be getting animus from the resource camps. So it's probably, in a weird way, uniquely important to have killed more creeps than your opponent here, just especially in a mirror matchup like this, so that you can have those abilities more quickly.
That is Moon for you right there. Instantly surrounding that brute.
Do you think it's unfair they invited a current SC2 probe who literally took out a player of Heroes caliber in the same Atlanta DreamHack versus old retired ex-gamers who don't do much currently for their first show match? I think Mana is such a strong player, but I think getting Moon is a smart choice just for the company. I mean, it's like, first of all, he actually is apparently quite good. He's quite high ranked, but also, you know, it's you're getting a celebrity in StarCraft and a celebrity in Warcraft 3. Yeah, you heard that that's Moon for you right here? I was so pissed when I found out they got the overlay wrong.
Yeah, a lot of brutes, a lot of fiends fighting right now. You can see just battling all over the place and splitting into those fiends when they need to. The Fellhogs being pretty useful as well as a defensive deterrent.
This is kind of a funny moment because they both attacked into each other. Somehow they went around each other.
Some are even getting killed off over here. And, you know, Moon, he was known to have by far the best micro on Warcraft 3.
So here's me talking up Moon, even though he's actually the guy losing this.
He would pick fights that many other Warcraft 3 pros would never dare go into, and oftentimes come out on top.
Oh, no, I'm getting it all wrong.
On his opponent's Shroud, which means we get that additional white health for Mana's unit. So even though he's keeping a lot of pressure on, I feel like he's not really making that much progress with these attacks.
Looks like we've got 2 more brutes coming up here now.
Yeah, he comes in again with the brutes. You can see these fresh ones. They still have a little bit of the white health. It's almost like, and I could be wrong, but just from watching this now, it seems like the maps and the white health is designed like you basically would run out of it right when you get to their base. Does Shroud provide white health to enemy infernals? That's actually a good question. Let's take a look. I believe it does. Yeah, look at that. Because it looks like all the brutes are slowly going up.
And denying those Shroud Stones is huge. They deal a lot of damage. They're great static defense. And you can start casting spells because we have a ton of Animus.
Whoa, man. Fuck you, guy in the chat. You're out of here.
Yo, Dan MD, thank you for the sub, man. Welcome.
Dan 667 just subscribed. Happy holidays, tasteless.
Dan is the name of my favorite caster. Yeah, happy holidays, guys. Hope you guys all had a great Christmas. But yeah, it appears that the Shroud does boost the enemy Infernals, at least in this iteration. But I guess if they're both getting it, I don't know what that would really do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is looking pretty good for Moon with that base down there at 6 o'clock. Can we get a check over at the far center right? Is there actually a base over there?
Yeah, I think Mana is expanding to the right side of the map right now as well.
There we go. Okay, I wanted to confirm how much is there. Only 3 workers there mining for now. I think there's a little bit more there for Mana at 6 o'clock.
You'll have to build that up a little bit. You see he has
The Fellhog mechanic is a pretty interesting thing, too. So you basically make this building here. You can see it was to the left of that. Oh, God, I can't remember all the building names in this game. Basically like the command center, the Nexus. But it's like it'll attack enemy units, but you can't control it. So you can like micro against it, but you can't. And then of course, and I think later on with Kodo Beasts, you can eat them, and that gives them some kind of a buff. What do you think is most effective versus brutes? Do you prefer shotgun, needler, carbine, or just plain old battle rifles? What is this question?
Additional damage onto Mana's brutes, but eventually they do part ways.
That's right. Moon's going to loop around over here. He could hit this base. It seems
Now this is a great moment where you could see Mana, who I think is Moon because of the bad overlay, knows exactly what he needs to do. He's like, I need to do as much damage quickly as possible. That's when you turn him into fiends. Target this down. By the way, because the units don't move, as fast, again, at least in this iteration that we're looking at right now, it does feel like you're more incentivized to dive on buildings to kill them because the counterattack can't come as quickly. That was a problem I had when I first started playing StarCraft, is I never really understood, like, do I want to just, like, kill the hatchery with everything, or do I want to try to take the fight always? Which now I obviously know it's almost always you want to just try to take the fight. If you can kill the building, kill it. But because otherwise, let's say, these fights over expansions where they just try to target it down, if they target down the building, lose everything, then the counterattack oftentimes is extremely punishing. But it does seem like, at least right now, it's hard to get to their side of the map as quickly. Unless you were to turn all your brutes into fiends, but again, they don't have that much sustain by the time they get to the other side of the map because they run out of the white health.
And we're going to see what role that's going to play as eventually these two armies are going to collide. Mana in a game of catch-up here. I liked earlier on, we saw his Magmadon tear through the trees to try to get a nice pathway there from the main base to the third base.
You know what somebody said to me a long time ago? Was why don't they make a map where, like, every 30 seconds, like, the lower part of the map would fill up with lava or water? What do you guys think of that? Like, what if they had a creep on a map where, like, you kill it and then, like, that part of the map, there's, like, water there for a minute or something? You can't go there? Is that the most newbie take ever? You guys hate it? You don't think you could do something cool on a competitive map with that? You guys are just going to shit on my idea right away? Oh, that's right. The old Total Biscuit map contest.
The game quiets down for a little bit here as we're seeing Moon really gather up a pretty insanely powerful army. He is going to be moving out. It looks like he's going to be tearing through the center of the map. There is going to be an expand over here. I don't think
Thank you, Moltrap.
Oh, in fact, it is.
Yeah, I kind of do, actually. Alexandros. Well, one thing I liked was I really enjoyed these island maps in Brood War when the game wasn't that figured out. They made for some really fun, interesting games. I don't think there's a ton of harm in having crazy maps at the start of an RTS game,
And it looks like he's going to start to run Mana over, who has to retreat.
And you can see that the chain stunning there from the Magmadons is really working out very nicely. He's chasing him all the way back to where we saw the action start at the beginning of this game. The question now is he going to try to press it and do more damage?
You should be able to load Banelings into spore crawlers and fire them across the map like siege tanks. Yes.
More and more fiends at the moment. This is just huge here from Moon. It's a lot
Oh,
of
you guys are
pressure.
so funny.
I don't know that he can stop either this pushover.
Is that your shitty idea, Tazes? Well, here's my shitty idea.
Taking out his workers back here.
This is a big
All right, now
problem.
here's the moment.
Going to
You're,
end up
you're gonna.
falling Moon in
Let me turn this up on my end.
complete
Can you guys hear?
And there you have it.
Can you guys hear the casting?
Game there.
Okay, so wait. This is the moment. I'm gonna turn this volume up slightly. Okay, you're gonna see the moment where we don't know what the fuck is going on here, and watch as we just say we're play by playing who we think is Moon winning. We see Moon type GG. Both Dan and me look at each other like, what? Like, did we miss something? And then it cuts, and it's Mana, I think, fist pumping like that. Hold on.
Done here, splitting off into more and more fiends at the moment.
And watch how quiet we get.
This is just huge here from Moon.
It's a lot of pressure here from Mana, and I don't know that he can stop either this push over here at the front, but more importantly, all of these fiends taking out his workers back here.
This is a big problem. This shrine going to end up falling. Moon in complete control.
There it
of
is.
this
GG.
game. Yeah. And there you have it.
Incredible game there. Wow.
We don't know what's
That
happening.
was something else, Artosis. It's
Yeah.
crazy to see, what an action-packed game that was from start to
Look at me not say anything. I don't know who's won the
Well, we're
game.
gonna
I have
go
no
into
idea what's
game
going
two
on.
In a second here. It was interesting to see that map play out. The fast expanding plays, the development, however.
So when Artosis gets really stressed like this, he'll blink a lot. So this is, I look over at him. We're both like, what? And I just see Dan like, blinking like this. Oh, it was so funny. Yeah, there you have it, folks. I have no idea what to say. Dan, we got a button we can hit to talk to the producer. We're like, who won the game? Who won the game? Did Moon win the game? All right, let me go back one more time.
Incredible game there. Wow. That was something else, Artosis. It's
Yeah.
crazy to see, what an action-packed game that was from start to finish. Well, we're going to be going into game two in a second here. It was interesting to see that map play out.
Do you see how full of shit we are? We have no idea what to say right now. We don't know who won.
Fast expanding plays, the development, how everything went down. But we're going to be going into that next map in a second. It is, I think, loser picks. Is that correct, Artosis?
Yes, that is correct. Moon taking down that first game, and
Yeah, now we found out.
See what Mana has to try to come back.
Yeah. Now, Moon really hindered Mana early on. I think there were some moments where maybe Mana could have come back, but after getting crippled early on, we then saw Moon be very decisive. He saw that third base. He knew he could come in there and crush that. It seems like currently the way that this mirror matchup is operating, if you're able to dive in and really commit and do damage, it's hard to have a counterattack with the fact that brutes are so slow, and of course fiends are in.
So the reason why I'm talking for so long is he's holding down a button that connects him to the producer and turns his mic off because we're still trying to figure out what's going on.
They're not, on their own shroud there. So, really interesting to see the meta kind of develop.
Yeah, I think that's one of the more interesting things. It's like, okay, well, these are really fast. They're good at dealing damage. But when they're out on the other side of the map, there's a clock on them.
Right.
So if you make that hard decision to make your brutes into fiends, well, you got to make it work for you. And Moon definitely did that game.
So, we're just waiting to go into game two right now. It is a best of three, just to remind everybody. Fingers crossed that Mana can win one. I think it was an interesting.
Tasteless
match
Mana's
there.
already won one.
How to accumulate that lead over time. But whoever comes out here on top and wins this either 2-0 from Moon or a comeback here from Mana 2-1 will be the first ever champion of Stormgate competitive match.
I know. That's
History
a
in
big
the
one.
making.
It really is. And to see that beautiful trophy of a Vulcan.
Okay. Anyways,
so
let me
we
cut
actually
ahead here.
just
We're gonna
got
go to the
update,
next game.
guys.
Funny stuff. I'm glad I could share this moment with you guys.
Is that you can do. And we're ready now to go into game two here. Right now, Mana up.
All right, let me turn these fucking stupid casters down here. All right.
So,
So, this was the final game of the evening. By the way, this was, I think, where Mana actually probably played the best out of all the 4 games that we got to cast. He really just knew how to control the map.
It's going to be Mana.
That's going to be Mana.
Just never let Moon really grow.
It's good we're getting this sorted out at the start.
I'm always saying.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
RTS is having that overlay correct.
Yeah, we're joking about that overlay there.
Top right over here, hoping to win this and come back 2-0 here for all the Warcraft 3 fans out there. It is Moon.
The game was a stomp. Yeah, if I remember right, this one was a bit of a stomp.
We had fast expands in game 1 in the first mirror matchup ever in Stormgate in this show match. We're going to have the same thing again going here into game 2.
Yeah, these very fast expansions. No real way to harass it too much.
You keep calling Moon an X-Pro. Doesn't Moon still compete in Warcraft 3?
Start with a scout unit.
Am I crazy?
Go across the map, they can deal some damage.
Right.
Here, that's not the same case with the Infernal, right? So you can just kind of expand right away, get into your production facilities afterwards.
Mini-map on the right-hand side. I think you could move it.
One of my favorite things about learning in RTS is seeing where the top players who are really steering our knowledge of the game, where they place the first few buildings. It seems like in the bottom left here we've got...
What do you want, Cat? My cat's bugging me, guys.
With somewhat of a wall. He's creating more of a bottleneck entry point here.
Are there Warcraft 3 competitions? Yeah. I think there's a lot in China. But there's a Twitch channel called Back to Warcraft. Those guys cover, there's Warcraft 3 tournaments all the time. There's a lot of people that still play Warcraft 3. In fact, what I think a lot of people don't realize is how big Warcraft 3 is in China. I have seen the biggest crowds ever in esports for Warcraft 3 in China. I mean, it's insane how popular it is there. They're hardcore for it.
Get those fiends out there. See if you can deal some damage and slow your opponent down.
So whenever I see a mirror matchup, I'm always looking for where the deviation in the builds are. Sometimes you'll see both players behaving in the exact same way, but where is that fork in the road going to be? And will it
Moltrap. No, there's like a whole scene for it. I think there are still people making a living playing Warcraft 3. I could be wrong.
From the side of Moon, looks like he wants to go ahead, clear some of the camps here. And this is secluded grove, by the way. I'm not sure if we were talking about that too much earlier. Obviously, the last game had a lot of action.
Happy is the best right now. Does he still play Undead?
But I wonder if this map could slow it down a little bit. Those central bases are so strong.
Absolutely. We got the brutes now roaming. Nobody committing to the other side of the map just yet.
Yeah, if I remember right, this was a bit of a slower start here. Everybody fast expanded, by the way. I really had my fingers crossed that we'd have one crazy, I don't know, whatever a cannon rush is, or like a 4-pool, or, something like that.
I believe that's headed up here, northbound.
Yeah, looks like we're probably going to get another expansion going down here for Mana. Really focusing on getting those bases up as quickly as possible. Wouldn't be surprised if we see something similar from Moon as well.
Now, we've got the first attack coming in up here. Some real pressure over here onto Moon's Shrine. Is there going to be any way to defend? Where's the rest of his armies? Beautiful surround over there. Really nicely done by Mana. Oh my god, this is kind of a base trade situation, Artosis. They're both just going to be going at each other.
Yeah, this was another game where they both went around each other.
A lot of imps coming down to try to help to hold this on. In the meantime, this counterattack from Moon coming in. It's a little bit later, so it feels like Mana has the advantage.
Yeah, well, he's certainly going to have, the lead as far as the damage coming out, and that means that you're going to be able to deny the workers from mining earlier, which means you can slow them down. There's no way to warp back at home right now here for Moon, so, I mean, this could spiral out of control, but let's find out.
Well, it's a real possibility. He is eventually getting rid of these brutes. You can see that Moon is actually doing
One thing with the brutes is you actually have to time out. Like, right before they die, you can turn them into 2 fiends. It's actually not as easy as you think it would be. Even in the 4 games that we had several games where a brute was surrounded and they did not hit to turn it into 2 fiends at the last second.
Yeah, definitely helpful as far as defense goes, adding into that defender's advantage that's so important in RTS games. But at the end of the day, it feels like both sides end up holding reasonably well.
The third base is being taken here as we're seeing Mana, as far as growth goes, shoot up to the north on his side of the map. We need to see how Moon can possibly try to come back and balance this out. And look at the denial.
Now, this is where I think Mana just started to win. He basically never let Moon take the, I guess it's the 1 o'clock position here on the map.
Resources over time from that third base, it's undeniable that not a lot that Moon's going to be able to do to recover that. So
what do I think should get a visual update so far? I think the whole game's going to be getting continuously updated visually. This is like a rough draft of the game, basically.
That base for for Mana. So a little bit of a problem. Definitely needs to get
But yeah,
more
this was
down.
a game that it almost looks like not a lot's happening, but if you watch closely, Mana's just so much better at map control here. He's leaning on Moon the whole time, taking so many creeps everywhere.
When you're denying that vision, it's going to make things more ambiguous there for the perspective, excuse me, of Mana.
Yeah, he's going to come back and try to battle against that as well here, taking as much damage against him as he can here, but the Fiend's going to get surrounded as well. So you do see some of these small skirmishes where Moon's micro is paying off.
It really is a
Cluttered Corpse was a problem. What is Cluttered Corpse? Oh, you mean just like all the bodies on the ground?
The brute up to have the Fiend there temporarily do more damage control an area versus hanging on to the brutes for a longer period of time and then using that to have more explosive.
So this game, it's like Moon just doesn't ever get his third base up in time. It looks like he started it. I think this is the third time he's tried to start it up there. Although I guess if you look at this map, it seems like once you get a lead, it's really easy to control them. There actually aren't that many places to expand to.
Yeah, and you know, with the third base coming down now for Moon, this seems like a really ample opportunity here for Mana to come in. He's got his brutes, he's got his gaunts. We've got Moon coming up here to try to meet and defend this. There's no shroud here, so there's no defender's advantage.
Look at this. This is so sick. He breaks off just enough Fiends to get in front of the other brutes to body block it. That is so good.
See if he actually has enough here. I think the gaunts making a huge difference. Oh man, a gigantic infest does end up going down there, but it feels like Moon doesn't have enough units.
Yeah, he's zoned out, and now he's going to start to lose this position.
I wonder if you could infest your own units.
And look, with no third base, in the picture,
Excuse me.
what exactly can Moon do? Now, the Theorem mining area here, he can come in here and deny that. He doesn't have to commit in here if he doesn't want to, but he's buying more and more of a lead.
And with that third base up and mining, this feels like it's going to be really hard for Moon to come back. He's playing with basically the same units. Comes forward right now. His Shroud Stone taking huge amounts of damage. The Shroud Stone will be picked off, so less static D available for
There it is. Another moment where they missed the opportunity to turn that into Fiends.
The question is Mana perhaps overcommitted?
Is this where the game ends? I can't remember.
The Moon can end up coming back into this. It seems like he's doing a pretty decent job, but as more Fiends come in here and begin to hit these brutes, we're going to see Moon wrap back around. If Moon can't do much more over here, and in fact, with this infest, it's looking really bad right now for Moon.
Yeah, the Gaunts adding a lot in here as well. Looks like a meat farm might end up falling here. Continues to attack forward, and look at that macro coming out. Just a huge amount of imps coming from Moon up trying to help this base out.
Yeah, and you know, with these imps can't mine, there's just not a whole lot else that can be done. We have another infest coming down here right now.
Yeah, he's just too good.
Away once more. It looks like what was once a Wallen that would have helped to defend is now boxing these units in. They can't get out.
Yeah, he does get a Magma Dawn out, a stronger, more sturdy unit, capable of stunning everything, but doesn't feel like that's enough.
Yeah, they get trapped down here, right?
Put here against the mass speed.
Yeah, this is like a cul-de-sac expansion.
Now this is becoming a big usage over here, trying to get these workers somewhere safe as these Fiends just come in here and chase them down. The Shrine, the Greater Shrine is about to be taken out. It's so low, sub 100 HP.
That's funny. He made the Greater Shrine. He upgraded that at his natural, not at his main. Maybe he knows that there's maybe get more hit points for that. Maybe it's yeah. I wonder what the rationale for that. Maybe you get more hit points when it finishes. I don't know.
And we're seeing Mana's units spill into the main. The only thing that remains now is the infrastructure, the source that's producing these Magmadons, these brutes, and it looks like they're going to be falling as well.
Yeah, down goes that Magmadon. We have more and more Fiends continuing to join the battle onto Mana's side. And now the last,
Yeah, especially when you get in the worker line. That seems when you really want to fraction the brutes into Fiends.
there it is, GG.
Very cool.
Going undefeated, make some noise. He is
It's good to look back on those games. I'm going to be doing a lot more casting. Stormgate when they get when I can get more opportunities to do it. But if you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much for joining me for that. Please be sure to like and subscribe. I'll be putting a lot more content out, RTS related, obviously, but Stormgate especially, as we get further developments in that game as well. So have a lovely day, and I hope to see you in a future video. Bye-bye.